Are you tired of having to memorize spray patterns? Is running around everywhere too much on your joints? Do you want to see a nice shade of green in your match history for once? Then try out the AWP, the literal best gun in the game. Farm clips your montage. Pay $5,000 just to die to a deagle. And get peer pressured by your inner monologue to make bad financial decisions.
Coward. You make me sick.
Leave me alone.
You can't escape yourself!
So be sure to try out the AWP today. We guarantee you'll like it, or you'll get your money back. Available on both CT&T side. Money back guaranteed, not guaranteed. Flicks not included. Must actually aim at your enemies. First, let's learn some background history of the AWP. The AWP is the best shotgun in the game, and has been around since the original Counter-Strike mod came out in 1999. The AWP has been a staple weapon of Counter-Strike and other games. For over 20 years, the AWP used to have 10 rounds per magazine, but in November of 2022, after playing Dust 2 for the 99th time, some lone dev at Valve refused to learn how to smoke Xbox, and was sick of dying to the CT AWPer every time he peeked mid, and promptly lowered the ammo to just 5 rounds per magazine. Now let's look at the skins available for the AWP. The skins for the AWP are certified hood classics and refuse to be mid because of how popular the gun is. Some of these skins include Asimov, the cult classic, Dragonlore, the literal best skin in the game, going as far as being referenced in media and pop culture, and so good that Valve even made a series of knife finishes based on just a single skin for the AWP. And finally, the quirky AWP JPEG. I mean Lightning Strike. Yeah, this is totally worth almost $1,000. Look at the fine craftsmanship of this skin. This is the quality of skins we started out with back in 2013, and this was made by Valve. Now let's do a deep dive into the stats of the AWP. Damage. Yes. Rate of fire. No. Ammo. Just enough. Now let's learn how to use the AWP effectively on the battlefield. AWPing in Counter-Strike is a great pastime and lets you play the fun minigame of did I miss or did I lag?
What?
The AWP is called the $5,000 Decoy since you'll spend $5,000 just to make a bunch of noise when you miss the mid-peak. When you commit yourself to AWPing, your mindset shifts from team play and buying together as a team to how quickly you can personally acquire an AWP. So this means no buying armor or kits on pistol round and letting your teammates go first and baiting them for any kills you can steal. Now, if you do win the pistol round, you may ask yourself, okay, should I buy some armor and an SMG and try to build up some cash to buy the AWP? Or should I just buy some armor and a nice pistol to use as a secondary and just bait my teammates again? This of course is a trick question since you're always going to lose to the enemy's force buy, so once again, you don't buy anything for round 2. At this point, your team is going to finally notice just how much money you have versus everyone else and will ask you to drop pistols. Now, most people will succumb to peer pressure and give in, but these are the moments that separate real AWPers from the wannabes. A real AWPer would say, I'm not buying myself a deagle, why the hell would I buy you one? Now, on the more than likely chance that you lose the pistol round, it's going to be a bit harder to save for an AWP, because now it becomes a battle of you and your own ego, where you must resist the urge to force buy and maybe get a kill, versus saving to buy the AWP and actually winning the game. Now, after the better part of 4 to 5 rounds, you should finally have enough money to buy an AWP.
What do we do now? What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game.
What you lacked in the pistol and eco rounds, you finally make up for in the rifle rounds. And by that I mean, the enemies with rifles don't stand a chance. At this point, playing CT side on Dust 2 with the AWP becomes a point-and-click adventure game. Dust 2 is one of the only few maps where having 3 AWPs on CT side is a legitimately good strategy.
Whoop. Saw one.
Now, as an AWPer, your first priority in game is asserting dominance over the other team's AWPer.
Oh, them reaction times. Get out of here, kid.
Ah! Fucking damn it! God damn it. He's gonna be living off that one for the next year.
The AWP is such a strong weapon that it no longer becomes you versus the enemies, but you versus your own ego in challenging the other team's mid player.
What?
Surprisingly, a mid player with an AWP isn't even that scary. However, a mid player with a scout is terrifying. The scout is the only Achilles heel of the op, since they won't be afraid to die and will aggressively peek you every time. Speaking of peeking, the majority of opping is simply having patience and waiting for the enemy to peek first.
Come on, you fat do it.
Remember, not all your gameplay needs to look like a montage. Now, when you finally get caught with your knife out and die to poor timing, you might think all hope is lost. But thankfully, when the round ends, grabbing an op off the ground is the #1 priority of anyone left alive. To the point where your entire team will transform into a pack of screaming chimpanzees the millisecond you kill the last guy alive.
There's an op to your left. Up behind you, coffin, coffin, op at coffin, op at coffin, op at coffin, op at coffin.
Oh, you almost had it.
To left, to left, to left, 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 left! Oh, I've got 13,000, I gotta rebuy another op. I'm gonna starve.
While picking up an AK is a casual suggestion, not picking up an op is enough to warrant a vote kick. Unfortunately though, you will feel like a bit of a bitch when you have to beg for your teammate to drop you your op back.
Please, sir, may I have my op back, sir? Please, kind sir.
Yeah. Right there behind you.
Thank you, sir. You have given Dobby an op! Thank you, Master. Dobby is free to peek again!
What the fuck?
Speaking of feeling like a bitch, there are two ways to play with the op: smart and flashy. Playing flashy means going for every retake with the op because you know you have the best weapon in the game. Playing smart means running away to hide and pit the second B-site gets overrun. But sometimes, making sure the enemy team doesn't get your op is equally as important.
Nice try.
Oh, it actually works!
Nice.
When in doubt, you should always opt to play smart. You're no Kenny S. Who's Kenny S? Wait, who's Kenny S? Kenny fucking S? The op magic stick? Kenny S is the single reason why the op was nerfed years ago. You notice how slow you move when scoped in with the op? Yeah, years ago, you used to be able to run around with the op like it was a scout. Kenny S had the most insane hyper-aggressive peaks with the op and such a dominant playstyle that Valve had to step in. And that doesn't even include his flicks! God, just inject those clips straight into my veins!
Oh, God, there is no fucking offer better than Kenny S! It ain't easy being cheesy.
Anyways, I placed the op at the top of op tier. At the end of the round, it's the gun that takes priority over everything else to be picked up. Enough said. So, that's all there is to using the op. Subscribe and tune in next time as I show you how to use the MP7, and comment down below which guide you'd like to see next. Oh, and remember, just don't buy the op in the warm-up round to bully players. It's a curse that basically guarantees you'll lose the game.